In this video, I'm going to show you how to take a PDF that you built for use with PDF for SharePoint, and I'm going to show you how to upload it into your account and then go ahead and hook it into your PDF for SharePoint app. If you haven't already done so, go and create a PDF for SharePoint account. When you get to the website, you go straight to this big free account button. You fill in all your information, hit create user, do a couple more things, and you'll be sent an activation email. And once you activate it, you're ready to log in. So go to customer login and go ahead and log in. Once you've logged in, you'll end up on this screen. And what you want to do here is just pick a file, which is a PDF, that you want to put in there. And I'm going to find my funds request that we built, and then I'm going to hit upload new. So this will give you an ID to use in SharePoint, which is right here. So we just want to copy this ID and we're going to paste it later. The only other things on the screen that you should be interested in is being able to sign up for a bigger account and upload a replacement or remove this one and start over. The upload replacement is if you don't want the ID to change but you need to update this PDF, you would just choose a new PDF and hit upload replacement. The ID will stay the same, so you won't have to update any of your links in the SharePoint app itself. So now I'm going to switch over to SharePoint, and in SharePoint we're going to go to PDF for SharePoint, and we're going to go to edit available PDF templates, and we're going to set up our fund request PDF. And here's where we're going to paste that ID. And in the description. Now this list ID to associate could be used to make it so that you can only see this PDF template if the item you've chosen to launch PDF for SharePoint off of was actually that fund requests, request for funds table. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's just save this real quick, and I'll show you a couple things. Let's put a new item in here. Let's just call it test, and let's set this to test so that we can do that. And then let's say this is for testing, and we won't set a list ID here. So what we'll do is let's go back to the team site. Let's go to any list, and let's launch pre-fill a PDF, and you'll see here that we can see both lists, both PDFs that we can launch. One is the fund request and one is test. If we go back to team site again and go to request for funds, let's now restrict that one PDF to just request for funds. So if we go to list up here and I go to list settings, and then I grab my URL, my address here, and let me open Notepad real quick. I'll paste that in, and at the end, well, here you could see this last argument here, query string value. Change this %7b to an open brace, and change this %7d to a closed brace, and copy this and go back to SharePoint. And let's go back to PDF for SharePoint. We'll edit this PDF templates again, and we'll edit this funds request, and we'll paste that ID in there. Okay. And now when we go back, let's pick not request for funds, some other list, and we'll pre-fill a PDF there. And all you'll see is test. That's because we restricted that list. And this is a useful way to organize the PDFs so that only relevant ones show up for relevant lists. It wouldn't make sense for this list to populate the same form that we have for this specific list necessarily. Okay, so now where we want to be. So let's right click here, click pre-fill a PDF. Now both lists show up. And if we click test, of course, we're going to get the test that we showed in another video. But if we go back and click fund request, Now we have our merged in PDF. And that's all we need to know.